What's the story, lads? We're going to have a look at the Acuro Fitness 8-week conditioning program to build the Glenville Engine. So we'll get stuck in straight away. You're going to be met with your contents first. So this is like where you can use this to teleport to whatever week you're on. So when you get used to using the program and the ebook, if you're in week 6, when you get to this page, just tap your finger on week 6 and it'll bring you straight down to that page and you don't have to scroll through the stuff. Makes it a bit handier. So let's get into the program. What way is the program laid out? It's going to consist of 3 different types of sessions: a rebound session, stimulation session, and a development session. Progressively, these sessions will incur more fatigue, each one, but also each session is specifically placed and designed to get a certain response from the body. So our rebound sessions are designed to aid recovery. Okay, they aid recovery and they also maintain an aerobic foundation and stuff like this. Our stimulation sessions are really designed, especially at the beginning, towards developing our alactic system, which is our maximum output in our first 5 to 10 seconds of max effort. We're looking to develop that. As them sessions start to progress and the volume increases in them, however, they will in them sessions start to move a little bit into the lactic acid system too, but we'll get into that later. And our development sessions then are the ones to build our VO2 max, the ones that are really going to build the engine and a big fuel tank, develop a lot of stamina and a lot of bursts of energy. So you want to have multiple bursts of energy in you to play a football match competitively, where you're going to have to go max effort, and you might have to go max effort for long periods of time, and then you might get downtime on the pitch where it allows you to sort of recover for your next max effort. Them development sessions are really going to build them energy systems, okay? So let's get into the weekly schedule. You don't have to stick to this one like gospel. This is purely an example with how you can place the sessions. So you would place your stimulation, development, and your rebound and rest days. So the training week is modulated. This is to create stimulus on certain days while also having recovery periods so the body can adapt. So you have a quick look here. On Monday, we're doing a sprint session. Sprint sessions aren't too long and they're not going to develop a whole lot of fatigue. They're focusing on power output and increasing that. And then we get a rebound day on Tuesday with some light activity. We do sprints again on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we develop a lot of fatigue, but a lot of stimulus too with our development sessions. And because of this, I'd recommend 48 to 72 hours of rest after them. So we do a couple of rebound days with active recoveries. And Sunday, you can kind of just completely just rest. Maybe do some stretching, mobility work, and you start all over again. As I said, it's a pure example. We can place these days wherever suits us throughout the training weeks, okay? So let's get in now to our warm-ups and our exercises. There's some clickable links on this page that are very important. So up the top left is the warm-up where it says jog for 2 minutes, and then calf pumps, plyo knees, bound skaters for 2 sets. You can click that whole box and it'll take you to a tutorial video of me showing you the moves. Then up the top right is the next portion of our warm-up, which is our leg swings into the greatest stretch, and we do 2 sets of them. And you can click that box, take you to another tutorial video of me demonstrating the moves. And last but not least, lads, we want to finish our warm-up every time with something a bit explosive, just to kind of prime the body for the explosive 100% efforts you're going to be doing in your sessions. But also this is applicable to training and to football. You really want a warm-up is there to prime the body. So people think a warm-up is for injury prevention. That is a big part of a warm-up. But a warm-up is also there to increase performance. You prime your body for the performance you're going to demand of it afterwards. And that's why we do a 3-second sprint, max effort, only 3 seconds, very short, then a 10-second jog, and then you can go 3-second sprint, 10-second jog. You can even jog on the spot so that when you sprint, you're starting from a dead stop. And that just helps prime the body for what you're going to demand of it. Then next is another clickable link, which is the exercises included in the conditioning program. We have shuffles, mountain climbers, and burpees are going to be the 3 exercises we're going to utilize in the program. Click that picture, it takes you to a tutorial video again. And then we have a half a pitch run, which is always a sprint. We have a full pitch run, which will be always done at 100% effort, trying to cover a full pitch as quick as you can. And then an active rest will always be walking while recovering. So focusing on your breathing deep into your belly, in the nose, out the mouth where possible. So a question I sometimes get asked is the difference between running a pitch at 100% effort and a sprint Is that not the same thing? It is dependent on the distance. So a sprint in the terms of this program, a sprint for us is going to be how long we can maintain maximum output. So when you start running from a dead stop into a sprint, you accelerate to a top speed. When you reach that top speed, then you will sustain that top speed for a period of time or distance, and then it will drop off as the body feels the fatigue. When that drop off happens and you start to lose your top speed, it has now become more of a lactic acid system move where you're putting 100% effort in. You definitely are, but you're not getting 100% out anymore. And that's when that's why the full pitch at 100% effort, you will lose your top speed on the pitch run, and you should. So you may be able to cover a certain distance of the pitch and you will lose speed. And then it's a case of just digging deep and trying to finish the full length of the pitch as soon as possible. Then you will see in the program there's an exercise to do at each end of the pitch. So week 1, we have our rebound sessions, stimulation sessions, and development sessions all mapped out. So we have the reps, we have everything prescribed like the rest and the rounds. So let's look at our rebound sessions, okay? We have option 1 being a 2 kilometer to 5 kilometer light jog. I emphasize light jog where you want to lightly elevate the heart rate and raise the body temperature and increase blood flow, but try to maintain maybe most of the breathing through your nose, just so that you're not going too hard. This is to aid recovery and to maintain a aerobic foundation. We're not looking to build up a lot of fatigue on our rebound days. It's actually the opposite. We're looking to increase heart rate and blood flow lightly in a way that will increase recovery in between sessions, okay? Number 2 option then is a hike, a swim, or a cycle that you can do on your rebound days, which are kind of active rest days. And if you don't want to do any of them or you don't have time to get out of the house, you can do it on the spot at home, which is 70% effort mountain climbers for 10 seconds. And then you will jog on the spot as an active rest for 50, totaling 1 minute for a round. You'll do 12 to 15 rounds, take you 12 to 15 minutes, and then your rebound session is done for the day. Then into our stimulation sessions where we're really getting down to business. These stimulation sessions are the ones that are focused on your max output and developing that energy system, which is called the alactic system. Okay, so these sessions are really going to work on that. Now, as we develop some fatigue throughout these sessions as they get longer, we will move a little bit into the lactic acid system. But the first half of the sessions and in the early couple of weeks, it's mainly just working on max power output energy systems. So we're going to pick a half a pitch as our length to run. We're going to sprint as fast as we can, 100% effort. Once we complete that, 1 minute and 30 seconds rest, and really try to control your breathing and lower your heart rate for the next round. It's going to be 6 rounds, which is 6 sprints. If for some reason you can't make it out to the sprints or get to the pitch, you can do a workout at home, again involving mountain climbers, and you can do 40 mountain climbers at 100% effort, and then a 1 minute 30 seconds rest, which is the same for 6 rounds. Now lads, ideally you want to get the sprints in because mountain climbers and sprints, you can't compare them for power output. Sprints are going to be much better and they're going to be way more applicable to your sport performance. So really try to prioritize getting the sprint over the mountain climbers. The mountain climber stimulation session is just there in case everything goes tits up and you can't get the session in. It's better than doing 0 sessions. Okay. Then our development session is the last one of the week. We do 20 shuffles. We run the length of a full pitch at max effort. So you're trying to complete the full pitch as quick as you can. And then we're going to do 20 burpees when we get to the other end and a 2-minute rest. 4 rounds. Now, the exercises are specifically chosen for specific reasons in this session. This session is designed to bring your heart rate up to a high level. Keep it there for a period of time and then rest and try to recover quickly. And you've only 2 minutes then. So as you do these rounds and you repeat this week by week and increase the rounds, your body's ability to do big output of energy, okay, and then recover quicker, you're going to develop that, okay? So that's kind of like what will happen in a match. Depending on your position on the field, if all the action is happening over your side for a period of time, you're going to be looking to exert yourself for an extended period of time, okay, and perform. But then what will happen is the action may shift to a different part of the pitch and you may not be as active then. And that's when it's your chance to focus on your recovery and your heart rate is going to come down so that when the demands are asked of you again, you're ready to go. And you just keep rinsing and repeating this throughout the whole length of a match. It's always go full 100%, then you get quiet time, you go 100%, you get quiet time. So that's what we're developing here is our VO2 max for them reasons. Now we have shuffle steps first. It's a lateral movement focusing on ankle stability mainly, but also some knee and hip stability while you're moving left and right. It's completely applicable to your sport too to develop in that range of motion and that movement. Then we're running the length of a full pitch, which is very applicable to you because you may have to cover a lot of distance as quick as you can in matches. Okay, and then burpees, 20 burpees when you get to the end. The burpees are a tool. They're a great way of keeping the heart rate up and they're a really tough, grueling move that you're going to have to push through. So they're not only physically challenging, but at this stage, they will be psychologically challenging after completing the other exercises. Now, you'll get to a point at any stage in this development session, if you need to stop to take a breath, you can take a breath in between reps or at any stage and just remember what rep you were on and then jump back in and finish it when you can. And once you've completed the prescribed round, then you get your 2 minutes rest before the next round. So there's not necessarily a time you need to complete this in. It's an amount of work that you need to get done as quick as you can. So this will be different for everyone. Okay, so that doesn't matter, but the rests are the same for everyone. So the demands on your recovery are standardized and can be measured. So we move into week 2, okay? Very little changes in week 2. We just increased the rounds, okay? So we've increased the volume. So the demands of the body have gone up in week 2. Then week 3, we also have an increase of rounds, but only in the development sessions, okay? Now, there's a reason why in week 3, we don't just keep upping the rounds on everything. The rounds for the stimulation sessions stay the same in week 2 and 3 because it's to acclimatize your body, and you may find that as you're sprinting and trying to increase your power output and cover the distance quicker, you can still be running slightly faster in week 3 than week 2, which means you're working slightly harder. So we don't necessarily need to increase the rounds there, but you want to increase your effort within them rounds, okay? Then in week 4, everything goes up. So it's 10 rounds of stimulation sessions with 10 sprints, and we have 10 rounds of the development sessions. Now, lads, I'm not going to beat around the bush. These development sessions are going to be tough. You're going to be going to war in the development sessions, okay? Now, there's only one a week, and you get good recovery after them. But 10 rounds is not to be sneezed at, okay? 10 rounds of this is going to be tough. So if you're thinking to yourself, Jesus, should it feel this hard? The answer is yes, it should. So we move on then to week 5, which there's a bit of a change in volume. The volume goes down. So you do less volume, but also the rests are going to change. So our rests in between every set in stimulation and development has decreased. So now you're demanding the body to recover slightly quicker. And then we just progress the volume again all the way to week 8. And then that's it. That's pretty much the whole plan, lads, right? So I hope that gives you a good insight and you gain a bit of knowledge from that. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or you have me via email. Just get in touch with me. Any questions? There's no stupid questions, lads. You're going to get more out of this the more questions you ask. So I always encourage that. Okay. And if you don't want to ask me a question in the session in front of everyone, you can always just contact me privately and ask me anything. So, lads, look, I wish you the best of luck and I'll be speaking to you soon.